Announced that the Justice Department has secured felony guilty pleas from the world's largest cryptocurrency exchange, Binance.
Actually, it's Binance.
Binance.
Binance. Largest virtual.
Binance.
Binance. And let me be clear. It's Binance.
Binance.
Binance. Council has discussed crypto regulations and legislations at length, and we have come to the conclusion that instead of regulating, we are going to ape a fat bag each into laptop and pump it to over $1,300,000,000,000,000,000,000,000 market cap. Let's fucking go, crackheads.
Good morning, everyone, and welcome back to another episode of the Crypto Morning Coffee. I got my coffee locked and loaded, ready to go, because we have to talk about some crazy things that are going on at the moment. We have to talk about the FOMC meeting that is obviously happening today and will have impact on the market. We will discuss which impact. Also, we are going to talk about Russia making a move towards crypto. We are going to talk about BlackRock taking the next step in their crypto strategy. We are going to talk various other bullish and bearish things for Bitcoin, all in this live stream. And as always, we are going to go also into the realm of altcoins. There is massive development for altcoins at the moment. And of course, we are going to talk about Ecomi and Veve. So make sure to stay all the way through. So, good morning, every one of you. Look at that. We have new rare hodlers on the screen, 1 day delayed after they subscribed, but we also have a very sneaky move here. So first of all, let's welcome with the number 40, Justin. I hope you like that collectible. Otherwise, I will give you another one. Also, make sure to approach me on X so that I can give you the invite link to the Telegram group. And we got Scotchy here with a sneaky move. Because Scotchy, he was patiently waiting on the side and then hit the button to get the number 41. So now he's mint number 41, and therefore he also got the Spider-Man Ultimate Animated secret rare, so to say. Nonetheless, it's getting very crowded here. Look at that, look at behind me, here above me, Justin and Pro Legendary, Felipe and Scotchy here, Troy Paris just joined together with Ernie. It's crazy. It's getting very crowded, and I think I have to shuffle a little bit around. Maybe I can make space for a couple more, but not many more. We will see how this develops. I've no plan made just yet, but I think we will have 9 more until we hit the 50 number. And yeah, we will have to see. We will have to see how we deal with this. For now, it's fine. But yeah. Okay, so guys, Bitcoin is sitting at 66,000, and this is what I want to talk about. Altcoins, massive catalyst, and there is so much going on, and I have so little time to discuss all of that we have to jump in right now. But I see a lot of people already here. Justin is here, obviously. Trucking Hank is here. Good morning, my rare hodler. Matt Hoon is here. Let's go, crackheads. Yeah, of course. Let's go. On that note, we see Bitcoin rejected here, retesting, so to say, again, the support range, which did not hold already first time, but approaching the 65,000, actually has already hit 65,385. And this rejection is obviously coming out of some kind of an uncertainty about how it's going to proceed. And we have discussed in the last stream already that now the situation has changed a little bit with Kamala Harris as president, but obviously today there is something way more important, and that is the Fed decision coming today. And here we see Powell managing like crazy. But if things go according to expectations, the Fed again will keep short-term interest rate on hold, roughly from where they've been for the past year. And if that is the case, they keep it on hold, everything will stay the same, and that means that basically there's more impact to short-term FUD, which then could cause our by the way, this is not centered, here we go. This could cause this short-term FUD then could cause that maybe August will be another red month before we really go. So this could happen. This would mean then also that we have the entire August, if that was the case, the entire August to accumulate still. There are expectations that Federal Open Market Committee will drop signals. This is very important. We are not looking for a rate hike or not even rate hike, not even a rate cut. We're looking for signals that as long as there is no major data hiccup, a September move is very much on the table, basically guaranteed. This is what we're looking for. So it comes down to the speech, not to the basis point decision. If there is no rate hike, we're looking for these signals. The central bank has been holding its benchmark funds rate in a range of 5.25 to 5.5 for the past year. Now, in the last stream, we also looked at the US debt clock. And basically this funds rate determines also how much this is rising. But ultimately, the US government will have to find means to refinance the debt, not only to bring down the interest rate, but also to refinance the debt. So at least all the interest rates that are coming on top. And this means money printer must go brr. And if money printer goes brr, number go up, right? So this is basically the Neanderthal version of the rule of the market. So the FOMC watch tool indicates, I put this a little bit up here so that you can see the numbers, indicates that with almost 96% certainty, there's not going to be a rate hike. So we're really looking for those signals, but 4.1% believe that there is a chance. And then for September, though, we have a slightly other expectations. So here for September, everyone, wait a second, does that mean that 85% still believe that the rate will not come down let me see here. No, actually here we have okay, so apparently no one believes anymore that in September the rates will stay stable. So here you would have a cut, then here a 50, and here an even harder cut. So cut, harder cut, even harder cut, right? So that is what the market more or less is believing, because if we see here rate being stable is 25 to 50. Do you see this here? 25 to 50, and here in the next forecast, the highest that they expect it could be would be 0 to 25. Right, so the rate cut is, according to the market, is guaranteed basically in September. And if there were signals today that this is not the case, then we will have a problem, right? So this is why I wrote also on the stream that this is a warning, because we have to see how it works out, right? This is in fact something where we need to be patient now today, see the result, and then we can act accordingly. I though believe that there will be positive signs. Now, where there are not positive signs already, and this is something that could be like data hiccup, would look like this. The July CPI inflation in Germany. Why do I pull up Germany here? First of all, I am German. Secondly, Germany is the third biggest economy in the world, has passed Japan already. July CPI inflation in Germany unexpectedly rises to 2.6%, above expectations of 2.5%. Just hours ago, Germany reported a surprise 0.1% drop in Q2 GDP. So GDP not going according to plan, inflation rate higher, coming in higher, like unexpected rise, not good at all, right? And I've always put out this question, and I try to answer it for myself as well, is the US is a country, like it's a federation of states, is a country, they have a central bank, they can manage, right? But how do you manage the Eurozone with all these countries from one central bank with one interest rate hike, with one interest rate cut or whatever, if you have one country with an uptick in inflation and another one with stable inflation rate and so on, right? So what if you have countries basically with different conditions, but you manage them all from one central bank, which is the case for the EU, right? So it's a little bit weird, to be honest, and I cannot answer that to myself as well. What if you have, like, because you have still, I mean, you have an economical space that has borders only on the outside in that sense, technically, theoretically, but still, it is a question to. I think it's way harder to maneuver because the European Central Bank doesn't have a European government that is basically, it has one, but it doesn't decide everything in that country, right? So it's a little bit weird. Anyways, so here the Mount Gox FUD, right? That is the second factor besides today's decision that can impact short term, and this is why I say short term FUD can lead to lower prices, even though that we are still on track for the bull run, right? Nearly half of the 141,600 Bitcoin, 9.4 billion owed to Mt. Gox creditors has been distributed already. But most creditors appear to be hodling. So this is good news, right? So we see that we still have a lot of BTC to distribute, right? But I will move this a little bit. But there has been already 49,000 Bitcoin distributed to Kraken, distributed to the end user, and 10,000 Bitcoin has been distributed to Bitstamp. So we really see here a lot has already been distributed. All that orange part has already has to be distributed still, right? So. And then, so we see the distribution and the price. There's not really such a correlation. I think that most people that get Bitcoin out of this, they will not dump. They know what's coming. Most of them know what's coming, and they already hodled until here. So some might pay off a little bit. Someone said that last time. I think it was Justin, or someone said here in the chat that some people are likely to sell some to cover taxes or whatever, right? So because they already filed like the loss against other crypto gains, so they wrote off this Bitcoin, and now they have to repay some taxes maybe. So this could be a potential reason to sell off something, right? Now, crazy development is this one here. So BlackRock has these model portfolios, right? And BlackRock announced that that they will allow for the model portfolios to take in Bitcoin. So how does this work? So these model portfolios, and this is big news. Like this is not like only BlackRock ETFs. So these model portfolios, BlackRock has built a range of model portfolios to help the clients meet real life goals. And the model portfolios can be customized to the client's risk profile to help achieve a range of outcomes. So there is a wealthy client that goes to BlackRock and says, look, these are my targets, these are my goals. I want to preserve wealth. I want to have a 1 to 2% growth. I don't know what, with my billions and billions. So please build a portfolio of certain assets like real estate, a bit of bonds, some gold, whatever. And now, in these model portfolios that they are building for their clients, they will include their own ETF as a part of that model portfolio, meaning that if a client comes with 1 billion to BlackRock, say, hey, look, can you manage this 1 billion model portfolio? And they put like 10% Bitcoin ETF because the risk profile is a little bit higher. They will buy 100 million of their own Bitcoin ETF shares, leading to 100 million coming into the crypto market, even though that they're just building a portfolio, right? So they are managed with, they say here, like managed with disciplined approach and the ability to rebalance in difficult markets, helping portfolio to stay more resilient over time. Okay, so now if they can put a 1% component, whatever percent component of Bitcoin, but they will buy their own ETF, which means there's basically this next layer above that we have talked about weeks and months ago on this channel, that the ETF, the BlackRock ETF, is only the start. So yeah, smash up the like button for us being ahead of the curve once again, because you guys remember, the rare hodlers, especially the rare hodlers, remember that we have been discussing this with the next layer, right? So model portfolios, and there will be funds, and there will be other portfolios that are going to get into Bitcoin through adding some ETFs to these portfolios, right? So this is going to happen. And then also, this is also interesting. So Russia races to legalize crypto as sanctions weigh on the firm. So they passed a law to regulate crypto as a foreign currency, and to facilitate basically foreign payment difficulties. So obviously all the companies in Russia, they are suffering from the sanctions, and now Bitcoin is the way around because no one can stop Bitcoin transactions, right? This is what we have seen many times over already. Like when governments try to, for example, suppress any movement inside the populace, they can still act with Bitcoin. We have seen it in the case of Canada and the trucker protests. We have seen it in many countries in Latin America. We will very likely also see this movement in Venezuela, so that there is some kind of Bitcoin adoption to finance the or to somehow be able to withstand the Maduro regime. So there are some developments happening where there's another form of adoption, right? So yeah. SL says, no, Russia don't accept payments in crypto. Well, at least it seems that they have passed a bill for Bitcoin. That is what it seems here. But if you have better information, then please drop it here in the chat, because that would be very interesting for us to learn about. Just for outside transaction, not for payments. Yeah, not for inside Russia payments, but for the foreign payment, right? So payment from outside into Russia or vice versa, right? Wherever they are banned from SWIFT and so on. Is that correct understood? So that if a company wants to pay someone outside, or if an outside company wants to pay a company in Russia, then they are adopting this. Is this correct? Is this correctly understood? Yeah, I think something like that, right? And at least, yeah, at least that is what you could have. So while the use of digital currency for payments is currently prohibited in Russia, Putin this month called on the government not to miss the moment in regulating the method inside the country and in foreign deals. Cryptocurrencies are increasingly used in the world as a means of payment in international settlements. So yeah, apparently, maybe it's not through yet, right? You can't buy stuff with crypto in Russia. Okay. So in Russia, you can't buy anything yet. But apparently, it seems that they want to open up. So very good information. Thank you, SL. This is very useful. Now let's listen to this here. So this is CNBC. Listen what they are discussing at CNBC through these times. So this is what like the average economical interested user is seeing. Let's listen together. It's only 1 minute or so.
Now, certainly, if more companies decide that they want to buy and never sell Bitcoin, it's going to increase the demand relative to the fixed supply. We all know that that would work in favor of the prices. But what problem is solved by companies doing that? I mean, I just don't know how many companies are really going to want to place that sort of an asset on their balance sheet and have that be an aspect of their story.
Well, I think it's worth asking what their alternatives are. And the alternative is you can buy a treasury asset that whose white paper says it's going to depreciate at 2% a year at least. If you look back at the history of the Federal Reserve, they printed approximately 6% supply growth over an incredibly long period of time. 6% supply growth, that just happens to correlate with the long-term growth rate of nominal GDP. What do you know? So here's the real deal. Bitcoin is the new global denominator for capital. So the problem it solves is you don't have all of these politicians running around trying to curry for favor and redistribute wealth and change taxes and change all sorts of things. You get what you get. You get 21 million Bitcoin and that's it. And so, we're incredibly optimistic about it over the long term as these dominoes continue to fall in favor of Bitcoin.
So very, very bullish stuff here. I think one of the most important things that he mentioned is that basically the increase of the monetary supply by about 6% coinciding with the growth overall on a very long-term scale of 6%. So basically nothing changes in value. Your money is just worth less, which leads to then you having to spend more money, right, on the same thing. Which is a thing also for housing prices. I think I will have to make a video also about this a little bit later, about a couple of things, because I had so much content here and I wasn't able to bring it all. But one of the most important things here for altcoins, I think, is this one here. So it's a lot of text, but don't worry, I will get through it here, basically explaining what has happened here. So Solana and also other altcoins like Matic, which is Polygon, but also ADA and so on. A couple of, I think it's already a year ago or so, the SEC basically, when they filed a complaint against Binance and also at the time against Coinbase, they basically named a lot of these as securities. Like I think it was ADA, Solana, Polygon, Chili's, and many others. Like it was about 25 coins that were named, and this is not the case anymore. So listen to this. So that was July 29th. So the SEC government moves to amend complaints against Binance, seeks to no longer prove tokens such as Solana are securities. So the SEC informed defendants that it intends to seek to amend its complaint, including with respect to the third-party crypto asset securities as defined in the SEC's omnibus opposition to defense motion to dismiss, blah, 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 172, obviating the need for the court to issue a ruling as the sufficiency of the allegations as to the tokens at this time. So ADA, Sol, Matic, Sandbox, Filecoin, and Mana are no longer securities according to the SEC at this moment in time. Very, very interesting. Very interesting stuff there. So I think this is exactly what we needed for the altcoins to run. That something like this happens. If now there would be over the next months a certain presidential candidate becoming president fires Gary, that would be obviously the catalyst for all of this going through the roof. But it's very good to see, because I personally hold some Matic, I hold some ADA, I hold some of the other coins that also were meant. So I think this is a good development. Basically means that the top 10 is clear. Even in the top 25, probably everything is clear. Very good development here. Okay, and now also to the stimulus here. Like here's the FTX creditor recovery summary. And we see here on the very lower end, actually you don't, but now on the very lower end, we see the 16.254 billion recovery. So 12 billion of net inflows in the Bitcoin ETFs made Bitcoin go up from 45 to 74,000, right? Plus $500 billion increase in market cap. That's a 41x multiplier. FTX will redistribute 16 billion in cash to their creditors in Q4. So Q4 meaning it's October, November, or December, somewhere there and thereabout. Coincides with election into more money printing and already lowering rates into the perfect storm, right? 16 billion times 41. Let me quickly see here how he made this math. 41 multiplier. Oh, the increase in market cap. So 656 billion in BTC market cap. That would bring Bitcoin price above $100,000 is the math that he makes here. But the most important factor is that the 16 billion are going to degens, because everyone that has been investing on FTX basically is a crypto degen in some form of way, right? And then also they let their assets on there. So they get money back, and there's only one chance. As you heard before in that video, there is only one chance basically for people to outperform the market, and also for economies and also for companies to outperform the market, is to go in crypto. So everyone will realize this at some point in time, and many will realize it when it's way too late, right? But the FTX people, they are with their eye glued on the market anyways. So as soon as they get money, they will ape it into crypto. Very, 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 very certainly. Either that, or they will probably they will take advantage of altcoins that did not fly yet. So I would see this rather as a catalyst of altcoins than Bitcoin. If, for example, it happens in November and Bitcoin is already approaching 90K or something, then, or even 100K, then probably people are looking for, hey, where can I put this money in to recover my losses and to also still take advantage of the up and coming run. So this is what's happening as well. And finally, very important, by the way, good coffee. August, so we had July just now, and July was traditionally a green month, and for us it was also a green month. It doesn't feel like it, but if you're going into the chart and you look at the monthly candles, one second, and you look at the monthly candles, sorry, here we go, here are the monthly candles, then you see that this month was actually, we dropped a lot in this month, but we are green overall. You see, this is how the candle works, right? So you see that we opened at this level, we dropped all the way down, we came back up, and now we are about to close. In less than 24 hours, we will have a monthly close, and we are 6% up. So you have in this table, basically for July, at the moment they have this here, the 6.5%. Depending on how we're really closing. There could be a little bit more, or a little bit less, who knows. But overall, traditionally, July was a green month, and now we see, yes, we have another green month, but traditionally, August is a red month. So could it be that we will see, August and September, look at that, August and September traditionally are pretty red. So could we see another 5%, maybe even 10% drop out of Bitcoin? And there is a good argument for it, that we actually could see that. So we saw the last years we had, this was bear market still, 11%, then minus 13% in 2022, also bear market. 2021 August was still, I'm not quite sure, but it was the end, it was already bear, these are all bear market. But look at that, in bull markets we're actually also red. So the average would be something about a 10% decline. So if we get a 10% decline or something like that, it would not be out of the ordinary, and it would coincide with all of the the short-term FUD uncertainty, sell pressure, and everything else that we have. So here there is one argument, and I will quickly pick this up here. Let's open the BTC I think it's BTC1. Yeah, Bitcoin futures, the CME. The CME, okay, now it doesn't load like always. I am very much fed up with this. Now it's ETH BTC1. So the Bitcoin futures, and someone here in the chat last time basically made us aware. It's about this here. You see this here? This is, let's go on the daily because it's a little bit more obvious on the daily. We have a CME gap at about 59,000 to at about actually about 60,700 to 58,800. So this gap is still open. And the tendency is, as you see here on all the other gaps that I marked in this chart, the tendency is that these gaps close. So we could expect that August, with whatever catalyst that is coming down to, that we are still coming down once more to 58,800 or something like that, and then come back up, right, for another move. This could be happening across the next month. Obviously, we are going to bullishly close, but this doesn't mean that we cannot wick down in the first weeks of August, close this gap and come back up immediately, hover here, and then September rate cut, boom, we go and fly to the moon, right? On the other hand, not every gap closes, right? But about 90% of them do. So in a total lift off, it can happen that there is actually a gap that doesn't close, and this is what we saw last time here. So here is a gap that only almost closed but did not fully close. So here we only wicked into it, but we did not fully close it. Every other gap has been closed, but also here we have gaps that opened during the parabolic rise and they only closed in the next bear market, right? So the whole thing of these gaps closing, it is working 90% of the time. And now we will see, I mean, if we would just rally from here, then this could be this one gap that doesn't close, right? But looking at the fundamentals and what's happening at the moment in the markets, I would say there is still a chance that we come down and close this gap at 59,000. So yeah, let me know what you think about that. Let's take a quick look at the altcoin market as well, how the altcoin market reacts after we had this news. Do we see any pumpers? So on the day, actually XRP is having a move, 7.5% on the day, and BOMI, meme coin, Book of Meme, is also up, whereas the rest is like correcting with the market like hell. So I think it's a good time to buy some coins. On the week, we see that Avi is 14.5%, Flow is up, BOMI meme coin still up, so it's still a little bit meme season. Jupiter is up, Jasmine is up. So we see that here. So Jasmine is just behind my screen. There you see it. Whereas everything else is correcting, and especially AI projects, like good projects, are also correcting, right? So let's look also at outside top 100. So we see, well, what's this, like Jito? Jito has a 30% move. This is the biggest mover. EOS is still up because Alex Becker is chilling it on his videos. So EOS here, you see 16.3% move on the week. Basic attention token is also interesting. This is from the Brave browser that I'm using. That is up a little bit only, but it's interesting to see that it's still in the top 200. A couple of other things like so, and big losers also like Ronin and BNX Safe. What is that? Wormhole. I don't even, like half of the project, I don't even know. I have to really dig deeper into what is going on. But also I want to limit the number of coins that I have a little bit more. Bam Rinden says, what's your top BTC price prediction in a cycle? So my prediction is it's marked here. It's marked here. So there, it's here. So my prediction is that we will have our Bitcoin top at 1st of September. Actually 2nd of September, but in the monthly chart it shows 1st, and that we will be roughly around 100. So that the peak of this bar, 138,000 to 145,000, somewhere there and thereabout, where I put this Bitcoin top marker here, right? You see this Bitcoin top. So this exists already since a longer time, and we will see. But this is my prediction for the run. And my other prediction is like that the RSI will go into oversold territory by then. And that the TSI will hit this trend line, and then the Bitcoin top is in, right? Among other factors, like we're looking at Bitcoin dominance to compare. Is Bitcoin dominance dropping off already at this point in time when these markers hit, and so on? So we will constantly look at where we are in the cycle, but that is my prediction, like close to 150K. I think that 100K will be a difficult challenge. It will take a long time, and then it will overshoot. Maybe we will even hit 100K correct steep like we did here in this one, right? Look at this correction when we hit a new all-time high here, and we corrected 50%. So we might see a 50% correction. Everyone like, oh my God, it's over, and then shoot up to 150K or so, right? This could be happening in this way, but I don't have a crystal ball. This is just me basing this prediction on certain factors, but I'm not saying, oh my God, this is going to happen. But if it hits on the 2nd of September, exactly that price point, obviously I'm going to talk every day from there on about how I knew it from the beginning, right? I said it here first, and if I'm wrong, I'm never going to talk of it again. That is the strategy of crypto YouTuber, right? So don't base too much on my prediction here, in all seriousness. But it is just something that we would say, okay, from the halving, 500 days, that brings us to this date, right? From the halving, 500 days brings us to September next year. That doesn't mean that it has to comply with all the 500 days, right? Maybe too many people are looking at that. Let's look quickly also what Ecomi is doing, and then also what Veve is doing. I think it's time to look at this. So Ecomi also has a little bit of some reddish days here for the market, but for now it complies with this upward sloping trend line that we see here. So since this middle of June, we are trending on the slight upwards trend, and we will see where it leads us. But we still, so what we are basically seeing now is we're getting, I can draw this like this. So between this overhead resistance that we are failing to break constantly, and this lower trend line that we are holding since 1.5 months, we are being squeezed in. So there is either a breakout above and then the chart pattern gets a new structure, or a break below and this chart pattern gets a new structure. But we're basically moving in this, I mean, it's not 100% clean, but we're moving in this a little bit from structure-wise. We have a lot of breakouts to the upside, breakout attempts, but we are failing to close above this since a longer time. Can OMI run before alt season? I would strongly say no. I would strongly say OMI will not run before the alt season. I would even say OMI will be a late mover in the altcoin season, because OMI is highly connected to the NFT narrative, to potential metaverse and gaming narrative, and depending on how they play it. So I would expect that people, like, the alt season starts, AI projects, gaming infrastructure, RWAs, they run. And then people will take profits and look at the non-movers like Ecomi and be like, okay, so where can I put a lot of money into something that did not run just yet? So they might just try this out, and from there it starts to run, just from a money flow perspective, without taking care of any catalysts, right? So with regards to the catalysts, obviously we know now that it is more important than ever. So we have our little chart here. It's getting messy, I know, but we know more important than ever to actually execute on the burns And I think they should bring this fast. Like the burns, they need to happen fast, because otherwise you will not be able to decrease the supply already, so that people actually see the decrease as a fundamental and start talking about it. So burn mechanisms are always interesting to Web3 community, which is this part here. And then at the same time, we need more accessibility. So since a couple of months, we didn't really get a new exchange again. And I think it's time that we get another exchange, right? So if we get another exchange, that would be good for like the overall volume, accessibility, and so on for Ecomi, right? And we see that we had a lot of volume here, and then now we have a drop off again, but overall the volume is still increasing. So if we, unless we follow this trend here, but yeah, that's really what we need. The OMI to NFT, like the implementation needs to be easy and it needs to attract people. And I think it will if Stacker does it right, and Veve and Ecomi if they promote it also, right? So we will have to wait and see. But that is basically what I am wishing for this token to happen. And then my 4.3 million OMI or so that they move. I know that you guys have way more. You guys are the Ecomi whales here. But also look at this. So this is happening. I mean, Veve is a key factor still in the success of OMI, because the collectibles will draw the attention in the end, right? And this also happens for Stacker. So what we see here is this is Veve's booth for the D23. So D23 is Disney 23 event, and there are a lot of companies and also brands. So for example, here's the Disney pin stores. Probably there will be something with Flow, right? And here is the Veve booth. So small booth in the corner, but here's the car show. Pixar is on the other side. So it's like, let's see what else. I can barely read it. Actually, I can't read it. But there are some, like here, for example, Steiff is this is a brand that produces like these, what do you call it? These like the teddy bears and so on for children, right? These physicals that you can that children can play with. Like they are here directly on the side. So I think they have like Winnie the Pooh and so on. But the other brands, I cannot really read it, but hopefully they are positioned in a good way so that a lot of people that are into these things, that they can find Veve, and maybe there are some new users coming into Veve through that. So this is for sure something interesting. And then also let's quickly check out Veve in itself, what we have as new announcements and drops. So there's a lot of SDCC recap going on, and then the Mermaid Corners will come up. I think it seems. You have to buy them apparently on the Tokidoki website, as it seems. So it's interesting. Let's see. Draftkings pulled the rug on their NFT marketplace today. Just shut it down due to their NFT game tokens being designated as securities. Wow, that is crazy. Draftkings. Let me see. Draftkings. So don't buy this stuff, guys. Let's see what they say here in the tops about this Draftkings. Unpopular opinion, Draftkings Rainmaker was actually a lot of fun to play. Draftkings has been discontinued effective immediately. So let's see here. Community update on future Rainmaker and Marketplace. After careful consideration, Draftkings has decided to discontinue Rainmakers and our NFT marketplace effective immediately due to recent legal developments. This decision was not made lightly, and we believe it is the right course of action. Due to this update, we have decided to offer all holders of Rainmake's digital game piece the opportunity to relinquish those game pieces to Draftkings in exchange for cash payment. The amount of payment will be based on factors but are not limited to relative size and quality of digital game piece collection, blah blah blah. At DraftKings, our mission is to while Rainmakers and our NFT marketplace will be discontinued effective immediately, our customers are currently able to access the Rainmaker digital game pieces and other NFTs via the My Portfolio page. Okay, so that is crazy. And someone says, I just bought a Caleb Williams core this morning. Well, looks like I gotta get a MetaMask account to go cash out the cards. Very curious to see the value that they give them. You don't even know. Like this is really crazy. But it shows that the concerns that Veve has with their token are real, and it probably needs more time for the SEC to also take a step back on all of this. But it's crazy. National Geographic is also there. Oh yeah, okay. People spent tens of thousands on some of those NFTs. They were used to play a fantasy game like So Rare. Veve Vault app announced that the app will be discontinued because of no communication of support from Veve. Yeah, I shared that as well. This is so this one is a good one. Also, here we have it. I shared this yesterday already. So the guy from the Vault Value app said, I reached out to several members of the Veve team, but unfortunately I didn't receive a response. I started the project in September 2021 to meet my personal need for automatically calculating my collection's value, blah, blah, blah. So the problem, I think, is that the guy, he did charge a plan for $2.99 a month or something like that. To give that, and he basically makes money using the Veve API to have the API, the data coming out, right? So it's an effort on Veve's side, and someone external makes money with it, and that is something where you really have to carefully consider how what projects you want to support. On the other side, probably also Dr. Profit is going to make money with Stacker, so why not also have like these applications, support them, and have that guy make the $3 with it, right? So, but because you could argue that it's like the community already relies on this. So yeah, I would support this guy's endeavor to keep this vault value alive, but we'll see. Mark G says, Autograph, the Tom Brady fronted NFT community used the DraftKings marketplace as their market, so Autograph got rugged too. Oh, that's interesting to know. But I was able to transfer my Autograph tokens to MetaMask on Matic. Oh, that is good. Good to hear that you were able to. And I think so, since they can still access their stuff, it should be possible also for others to move out of this, right? Yeah, so very, very interesting stuff. You guys know a lot about the space here. That is crazy. So thanks for bringing this to the channel. So this is Mark D. That is very valuable information. So thanks for that. So the DraftKings topic is for sure interesting, also from a perspective that this is a discussion that affects Ecomi and Veve as well, right? So so them going after DraftKings means, yes, the SEC is going after NFT projects and their tokens. Now, I myself was someone that said, come on, who cares, right? That it cannot be that real. I think I'm changing my stance on this, because like with these examples, I see, and I said it on around the Ecomiverse and everywhere in discussions. Like I even said it to Foster. Come on, this cannot be real. Like this cannot be the reason that you're not on exchange. And I still believe that the token not being on exchanges in general has nothing to do with this topic. But I see the intensity of this topic, like the consideration of this on this topic, for the Ecomi and Veve team. I see the difficulty, I acknowledge the difficulty. I still think that not being on non-US exchanges still doesn't have to do anything with the topic, but other than that, I will change my stance because of some news like that, right? So yeah, congratulations you being able to move out your autographed tokens. And yeah, so where's the Veve? Yeah, so this is the Draftkings stuff. Still can't get over this play. Okay, so okay, Draftkings, like the Draftkings site, did they also post something about this? They are only all across sim mobiles because probably they were also yeah, they were attracting all the sports crowd. Okay, anyway, so thanks for that information. And guys, make sure to smash up the like button, please, for the daily continuous information about the stream. And we are going, so subscribe to the channel with notifications on. Stay tuned for videos and live streams for way more content on this channel. And I will end it here now. So it was packed with information. So make sure to also leave a comment if you watch that later. And wherever you are on the world, have yourselves a great morning, evening, day, night, or afternoon. And I see you in the next Crypto Morning Coffee or in the next video.